High School Overtime.
Your home for scores, recaps, and interviews with our top coaches. Here are your hosts, Lee Cochran and Ryan Baker.
Oh, I think it's the most wonderful time of the year, and I can't believe it's here already. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Byers Dublin Subaru's High School Football Overtime, the final, I can't believe we're saying that, the final high school football overtime of the year. I am Ryan Baker, the man sitting across the table from me. He is the guru, Lee Cochran, Jacob Reimer on the other side of the glass, getting coaches and everything for us. And Lee, the first night of the playoffs is always so fun and exciting. I can't believe we're here already, but we have had some great ball games tonight. We have had some upsets. It's everything you want in a playoff.
Yeah, I mean, now you and I have been talking playoffs since week one.
We tend to do that sometimes. We get off track a little bit.
But you know, we usually don't put it on the coaches until later on. But yeah, you know, since they expanded to 16 teams in the playoffs, you know, you run into those first round games that are blowouts, and we had some of those tonight. But boy, when you catch some of those upsets, that is so neat to follow. And we're looking to talk to one of the coaches that pulled an upset tonight. I mean, you know, it really is a second chance. You know, I guess that's, you know, what they're kind of looking for when they expanded these. At least one of the things they were looking for, giving more teams the opportunity, and we've talked about it, that it's given teams the opportunity to play a tougher schedule because you don't need to go 8-2 or 9-1 to necessarily get into playoffs. And it gives some of these teams that struggled in the regular season, it gives them it's called a second season for a reason. And some of these teams actually took advantage of it tonight, and it was just fun to watch.
It really was. And let's start with our game. It was a Division I Region 3 game. It was over on ESPN Columbus tonight because, of course, we had the Columbus Blue Jackets here on 97.1 The Fan. Olenta Berlin, the 6th seed in Region 3, moves on. They beat Gross City tonight 28-7. And, Lee, this game was pretty close. It just a couple mistakes for Gross City. Berlin was able to capitalize on those. And Coach Mark Norrie, his team, we know, if anything, they're going to be a well-coached football team. They did what they had to do, and they get the win, and they're moving on tonight.
Well, yeah, and a stat that kind of caught me a little bit off guard. They've now won 16 straight home games. You're not going into the cave and winning too often, obviously. So, I mean, but they'll be on the road next week at Gahanna. So that shapes up to be a pretty exciting game.
Let's go right there right now, Lee. Let's head to Division I Region 3 first. I'm going to give you all those scores, and then we'll talk about these games a little bit. Olentangy Liberty, the 1 seed, they're moving on. They beat Lancaster 41-7. Next week, they will play Groveport, who hammered Delaware 48-7. Rashad King, 4 touchdowns in this one for Groveport. Olentangy Orange. I thought this game would be more on the scoreboard. It wasn't, though. 21-17. They edge Olentangy. They scored late in this one, too, for the win. They will play Upper Arlington next week. We get a little rematch here between UA and Orange. Arlington survives 27-15. Newark gave them all they could handle tonight. Newark was up 12-0, and then 15-14 early in the second half. That Upper Arlington defense, though, stands strong in the second half.
Did that kind of surprise you?
Surprised me a lot because, and I'll tell you why, before tonight, I was talking to Nicole Sheeran from 10 TV, and she said that was one of the games she was going to, and I was like, oh, that's going to be ugly. That's not even going to be close. And then Newark jumped out like they did, and I was like, boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, but Newark's had that, what possibly could be a breakthrough season, their first winning record since 2005. You know, they've been to playoffs before, but we didn't get a whole lot with them, because everybody got in. 16 teams get in. But, I mean, they really deserved it this year.
You talked about Gahanna. They were the 3 seed in Region 1, 38-10. They beat Reynoldsburg tonight. They will play Olentangy Berlin, who got that 28-7 win over Gross City. Pickerington Central. Jaden Ricketts takes the first drive of the game, 80 yards for a touchdown for Watkins Memorial. They're up 6-0. Next thing you know, it was 62-6, and Pick Central beats Watkins Memorial tonight, 69-13. We got a rematch of the Pickeringtons next week because Pickerington North, 45-23, they beat Westerville North tonight. Jaron Mock, 4 touchdowns in this one, 2 of them to Preston Bowman, 83 yards and 21 yards there. So as we look at Division I Region 3, what stands out from you for tonight, Lee, and going into next week?
Well, if you look at tonight, I was surprised that Groveport Delaware game was as wide open as it was, and you also look at next week. I think that's a bigger thing right now. I mean, all these matchups should be good. I mean, Orange, as you said, Orange and Arlington, a rematch. Berlin, Gahan ought to be good, and Pickerington's, man, oh man, I mean. That is going to be a great atmosphere. I mean, they played in the regular season, North wins, and beating a team twice is hard to do. We can ask Hartley about that, not to give that away. And
heck, we haven't talked about Pickerington Central since that loss to Pickerington North, and I think they like that a lot.
They've won 7 in a row. 8 in a row now.
I've just heard back from Central's coach, Jeff Lomonico. We will talk to him later on this hour.
Who else are we talking to?
We're going to talk to Mike LoParo of Hilliard Bradley.
Why are we talking to him?
Because they had a huge win tonight. They upset the 3-time state runners-up the last 3 years in Division I, Springfield, 34-30.
Bradley comes in 2-8.
That's amazing.
2-8. And that's beats amazing. The 3-time team that made the state finals 3 years in a row. And we had said we'd pretty much handed the region title.
We said Region 2 would still be Springfield.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we just pretty much handed it to him.
I know, it's crazy. What a win for Coach LoParo and Bradley. It'll be fun to talk to him, and that's a team, Lee, that we know is super young. How big can a win like this be for them going forward the next couple of years? Well,
I remember years ago talking to Jason Peters at Grandview, and they had that big season, and he said, it was kind of winning the last game the year before that just kind of gave him that little bit of extra oomph to go into the offseason. And that same thing could happen with Bradley winning tonight. No matter what happens next week. But who do they got next week? They got Hilliard Davidson next week.
Another rematch.
Yeah, Davidson beats Marysville 52-7. So that's another rematch. And there's not too many people that thought it was going to be Bradley coming to Davidson for the second round of the playoffs. I think Davidson was thinking, well, we go up to Springfield and we'll take care of business up there. Whole different ball game.
So we get a show in the playoffs, 1st and 10. They continue in the playoffs as well. Dom Taberry joins us now from 10 TV. And Dom, you heard us talking about some of these scores here, some of these rematches next week. This is what makes high school football in this time of year so fun.
6 weeks of playoffs, and they start today, and it is a grind. Now it's a 16-game season if you're going to win a state championship. And, our game of the week was the game you had on radio, and I was impressed with Berlin. I thought Berlin, they took it to Grove City. Grove City started the season on fire, but kind of cooled off in the second half. But Berlin, very impressed with what they were able to do. I look at some of the City League teams that kind of, I don't know. Did we get a
rough
final
night for them?
Did we get a East Liverpool?
East lost 41-40.
Oh my goodness! That
they
went
couldn't
to
hang
overtime.
on. Yeah.
41-40 was the final. So did City League took it on the chin a little bit? Didn't
they didn't have a great night tonight from what we've seen so far.
I think they went winless.
That really? Might be. I think you could be right because Afrocentric did lose.
Afrocentric lost, East lost, Northland lost.
DeSales had a big win over New Albany, and
they looked really good.
By the way, I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think R.J. Day set the passing record.
He did tonight. He did that, I think, late in the first half. So now DeSales is a school that doesn't throw the ball very much, but that's pretty impressive for a sophomore to already hold the school passing record.
Well, and he's got 2 more years to build upon it. That may be a record that never falls. That's kind of like, you look at the way DeSales ran its offense for years and kind of very similar to Hilliard Davidson, which if they threw the ball 3 times, that was a lot back in the day. So, busy night for us on 1st and 10. We got highlights from 10 games. we will have some of those. We'll have those City League games on, and we've got DeSales coming up. We have the Liberty game. Liberty with a big win.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I know Nicole was at Upper Arlington, Newark, and Newark really gave Upper Arlington all they could handle tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a game, and Upper Arlington seems to be getting better at the right time of the year. I mean, we've got some good programs here in Central Ohio. It's like we've talked in the past. Central Ohio football plays second fiddle to no one in the state, I think. I really do.
And
what did Hartley do? I didn't hear.
They lost in the final 30 seconds. Bloom Carroll scored. Ethan Thanthanavong, a 3-yard touchdown run.
Man.
His 4th of the night, and then Bloom knocked a Hail Mary pass from the 35-yard line down on the final play. 44-43.
Well, we got you covered coming up here. Matter of fact, the highlights are just coming in. Our guys are coming in late, so I'm going to head back and start writing so I don't look like a total idiot on TV tonight.
What time are we tuning in?
Right, 11 o'clock. It should not be on any other channel. Guru, tell him.
I've told him that every week. Even when Adam's in here, I tell him.
By the way, Pizza Mike sends his best.
All right.
He said he needs to come cook for you because he would know nothing about high school except for you. You are like the guru. Well, they call him the guru.
He is the guru.
For a reason, right?
I mean, that's what it is.
How's your record this year?
You better than Ryan's.
Well, of course. What is it?
Well, I can tell you my record coming in
101-49,
yes,
I think it was.
Because I was 99-51 coming into this week, and you had me by two games.
That's why you're not the guru.
I'm not the guru. He knows more than me.
This gentleman. He just exudes high school football right there. Look at him.
He bleeds it.
Looks like a football.
He does. He looks
there
like
you go.
He looks like a center, doesn't he?
The center of the world.
There you go.
Center of the
That's my
offensive
boy.
line.
Yeah. Look at those arms. That's a gun show right there, Coach.
Dom, thanks so much for joining us all season long. I'll miss you next Friday night, but
we'll see you on TV.
We'll be tuning in. We're done for the year. This is it for us.
What happened? Guru's not going to do it. He just said
he's got a busy schedule. He's got a lot of things he's got to do.
Walking around, people just want to come up to him and say, "Guru," because I heard he's going to start just answering questions. Last night for Beggars Night, if you went and rang the Guru's door, he handed out advice.
That's right.
He didn't get any candy. He just gave you advice.
Advice and chicken breasts.
There you go.
Chicken breasts.
I have some advice for you, young man. Your windows didn't get soaped too much, did they?
No, I sat out front with the table. I had it all set up last night.
Like a seance.
There you go.
Come and sit with the guru.
The guru's got the grandkids now. He's got to make sure they're covered on Halloween.
Yes. All
Dom,
right,
it's been a pleasure. Go get ready for 1st and 10. We will be watching tonight at 11 o'clock. We'll turn the news on.
Thanks, Dom.
That is Dom Tiberi from 10 TV. Big thanks to him and Adam King and even Nicole Sheeran for all the work she's done this year. 1st and 10 for them. Make sure you tune in tonight.
Even we're not going to be around next week, but they will be.
They'll have all the highlights for us.
We'll be watching.
All right, Lee, so let's go get back into these scores here. Let's head over to Division I, Region 2 right now and give you the scores of the teams that we know. We talked about Hilliard Bradley, 34-30. The 13 seed upsets the 4 Springfield. They will take on Hilliard Davidson next week. Davidson with a huge 52-7 win over Marysville. How about this, Lee? We talk about upsets. Dublin Kaufman. They knock off the 3 seed Westland tonight, get their 3rd win of the year, 49-42. I don't know how Dublin, how Kaufman scored their last touchdown, but I know their first 6 tonight were all scored by Amari Valerio Hudson. What a game for that kid. We've talked about him. He's kind of been a one-man show for that Kaufman offense this year. What a game.
Yeah, and, let's take a look at it. Westland has struggled defensively of late. They lost to Big Walnut 34-33 last week. The previous week, they defeated Delaware Hayes 48-28. But still, nonetheless, that is surprising because, Dublin Kaufman, while they did beat Bradley last week, they had lost 7 in a row before that. And there were a couple of them that were pretty close, but a lot of them were 3 touchdowns. That's a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it's a big surprise.
Do you think tradition goes with that? Just, where you expect to be? I mean, Kaufman had a good season last year.
I think yes, and I think this goes into it. And you don't want to pick on anybody, and you don't know, you weren't there. Garen Stokes, Dublin Kaufman's coach, is an experienced coach. He's won a state championship before with Minster. Trent Williamson, a rookie coach. For Westland, and he's done such a good job, but he's never been in this situation before. Also, too, Kentrell Reinhardt, I don't believe, was there tonight for Westland, and that hurts because he's a big-time player, obviously, going to North Carolina State. We know what he did at Reedy in the past and what he's done for them this year. Now, that Westland team still has a lot of athletes, and they've still got a pretty good running back in junior Jordan Matthews, but I wouldn't put it past the coaching there in that one. And like you said, Dublin Kaufman made a nice run last year. Still, a lot of those players were on that team. So, yeah, I think those two factors are huge. The other game with the local team in this one, I do not have the final, but I do know that Springboro beat Dublin Jerome tonight, and I don't think it was close.
I just saw a final. That was 59-13.
59-13. So Dublin Jerome's season comes to an end tonight. We already gave you the scores in Division I, Region 3. Let's head over to Division II, Region 7. Lee, I know you gave me the score. I didn't write it down. Big Walnut did beat Logan tonight. What was the final in that?
I'm looking. I'll effort that.
We'll pull that up here. Big Walnut, though, moves on. They will play Massillon Perry next week. Perry beat Northland tonight 34-6. St. Charles' season comes to an end. They lose to Ashland 42-0. Ashland will play DeSales next week, 48-28. They beat New Albany. How about these numbers from DeSales? R.J. Day, 3 touchdown passes. Dom already talked about that he becomes the school's all-time leading passer. Jonathan Brown tonight goes over 1,000 yards for the season. He has a 180 on the night, 3 touchdown runs, 67, 59, and 23 yards for him. So DeSales makes the trip up to Ashland next week. Canal Winchester knocks off Westerville South 17-7. Next week, the Indians will take on Massillon Washington. They beat Licking Heights tonight 41-6. Walnut Ridge, how about this? A 15 seed, Lee. They pull the upset. They beat Worthington Kilbourne beats Walnut Ridge 29-26. Congratulations to Coach Edwards and the gang. Kilbourne next week will play Taze Valley, who beat Briggs 31-14. Who had a Taze Valley Worthington Kilbourne playoff matchup?
Not me.
Year?
Not me. Hey, and by the way, it was Big Walnut 42-0 over Logan. And it's the Walnut Ridge game just really surprised me. I'll be honest. They played the all city league teams throughout the year. Walnut Ridge did. Kilbourne said their schedule's a little bit tougher, but boy, I just didn't see that one coming.
I'm not as surprised as you are actually with that one. The City League schools, it's so tough for them in the playoffs. You just never get a great read on them. And Walnut Ridge had a great year, obviously 10-0. But what was the competition like? I'm not as surprised as you are with that one.
Yeah, okay, we'll agree to differ, I guess.
I understand. Let's head to Division III, Region 11. The 1 seed is Watterson. They cruise to a 44-7 win tonight. Licking Valley knocks off Indian Creek 48-0. Bloom Carroll edges Hartley at the end 44-13. Don't have a Granville final, Lee.
What? But go ahead. What were you going to say?
They were getting beat pretty bad. It was 33-0 last I saw.
That is what I'm seeing as a final. That Dover wins 33-0.
So Dover 33-0 over Granville. Buckeye Valley, I don't have a final on that one, but
47-7.
You look at you. You were all over it. 47-7. Steubenville knocks off Buckeye Valley tonight. And Athens beats Lyndon McKinley 21-8. In Region 12 of Division III, London 39-14 winners over Ross. Bellefontaine season comes to an end. They lose to Chaminade Julian 44-28. In Division 4, Region 15, St. Clairsville beats Marion Franklin 40-6. Reedy, Cross Williams hits a 25-yard field goal with 30 seconds left. They knock off Jonathan Alder 18-17. East Liverpool comes from behind and knocks off East 41-40 tonight. Logan Elm, I didn't write this one down, but Logan Elm does get by Philo tonight. I believe that one was 41-6. I'll have to check on that. Indian Valley beats Heath 40-15, and Fairfield Union falls to Waverly 28-21. Northridge in Division 5 Region 18 loses to Edison 42-0 this evening. In Region 19, Ironton 68-14 over Worthington Christian. Harvest Prep 40-6 winners over Dawson Bryant. They'll play Columbus Academy next week. Academy beats Piketon 24-7, and Afrocentric falls to West Muskingum 34-26. In Division 6 Region 23, Grandview knocks off Elgin 41-6. Grove City Christian falls to Newcomerstown 23-14. Madison Plains in Region 24 loses to Rock Hill 30-21, and still working on some scores for Division 7 for you. We talked about Hilliard Bradley. What a win tonight. They knock off Springfield 34-30. Their head coach, Mike LoParo, joins us now on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Coach LoParo, it has been a tough season for you with a young team, but man, your guys came to play tonight and knock off the 3-time state runners-up in a row in Division I, Springfield. This has got to feel good tonight for you, doesn't it, Coach?
It absolutely does. Coming off of a very frustrating, it's just been a frustrating season. We've got 6 freshmen running around out there, which I've never even had one, and we've got 6. And we've watched them develop, but, as you can see, our entire league went 1-0 tonight, so you know how strong our league is. And we just kept coming up short, but as we're watching these kids and we're evaluating the film, we can see that we're getting better, but we're still losing. And I think the strength of our league was shown tonight when we were able to get this win.
Well, Coach, at what point, I know you go in and think, here's how we can win each game. And as you said, you had a rough finish to the season. I think you lost 6 in a row. At what point during the week or during the game tonight did you think, man, we've got this?
During this game tonight?
Yes.
Well, we went down 14-0 right out of the gate. And we battled back, and we made some things happen. We had a turnover on a kick return, and we were able to punch that in to tie it. And you could feel the energy from the kids. I haven't felt it all year. I've been waiting for them to rekindle that regional championship feeling. And they got behind the kids, and the crowd got behind the kids. And we ended up going in a half up 28-14. Now, they fought back. They're a very good team. And at no point did I ever feel comfortable in this game until we got the first down inside the 5 and we could take a knee.
Coach, we talked about this team of yours, and you said how young they were, a lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen. You get into a situation like this, a postseason game. How big can a win like this tonight be for the development of your young players?
We've been talking about this as a staff. Just you win this game tonight, you just won next year's off season. Because these kids are going to remember this feeling. They're going to come in hungry. They're going to get the 6 a.m. lifts. They're going to do all these things. If you roll out of here with a 7-loss in a row season, that becomes very difficult to get their mindsets back and the psychology behind it. There's just so much that goes into it. This is a huge win for our program tonight. After such a great season last year, and we've struggled this year, this is going to set us right going forward.
Well, going forward, you got Hilliard Davidson, and that's I'm already looking forward to this game, Coach, because is there? Do you? Obviously, you play to win, but is it also just you kind of show that tonight wasn't a fluke?
Yeah, we want to continue to show that our kids are developing and we're getting better, we're getting healthy again. And, we know them well, they know us well, and it's going to be a huge environment. It'll be a packed house, sellout crowd at Davidson, and it's going to be a lot of fun for our community.
Well, it was 45-13 last time. What do you have to do to, win this game? Against a team that you lost to by such a wide margin.
Well, we made a lot of early mistakes in that game and got behind. And again, the psychology of our kids, and understanding how to win wasn't there. I don't know that tonight fixes that entirely, but they certainly are going to feel more confident going into this game and feel like they can win the game. And you want to approach the week that way and make sure everyone is dialed in and ready to go and feels like they can win the game. And that's what it's about. That's playoff football.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the big win tonight. Again, Hilliard Bradley beats Springfield 34-30. Good luck next week in a second Battle of Hilliard this year with Davidson.
Hey, thank you guys, and thanks for all you do for our high school kids. It's outstanding. Appreciate it.
He's the head coach of Hilliard Bradley, Mike LoParo, joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Lee, I got to call that game earlier this year, the first time those two matched up, and it just seemed like Davidson was such a much more veteran team. They were bigger, more physical on the offensive line. But I guarantee you Coach Scally and Davidson isn't excited about playing this Bradley team again, because this Bradley team has a lot of skill on it. And we talked about they were young, and you and I talked about this. This year I loved this Olenta Liberty team coming into this season because they had seniors now that had played a lot of football since they were sophomores, and they took their lumps the past couple of years. But I thought they were going to be pretty good this year, and they've turned out to be pretty good. I think 2 seasons from now, maybe we're talking about Hilliard Bradley like we have Olenta Liberty this year.
Oh yeah, and what's the parallel too with those teams? Olenta Liberty had a 3-7 regular season. They won their first playoff game last year too. Now they lost to Kaufman.
That was over Finley, right?
Yeah, it was over Finley.
And I think it was a 4-13, just like this.
Yeah, and then they lose the next week to Dublin Kaufman, a team that had beaten them by 10 in the regular season, and it was a 3-point game. So there are some parallels there. That's going to be a fun one. I mean, you're looking at a Bradley team that, we've talked about. They had lost 6 in a row. They, outside of that first game in that losing streak, New Albany, which was 17-14, not another game was within 3 touchdowns. To get the focus of these kids to turn around to beat a program like Springfield is quite a coaching job by Coach LoParo and his team. And he gave the credit to the kids, saying that he just saw things from them this week that he hadn't seen before. I mean, being down, to Springfield, and I mean, they could have just packed it up and they could have just taken another, 42-14 loss. But they didn't. So that makes me pretty excited for next week about this game, to see what they can do. See if they can, because, like you said, Davidson pretty much dominated Bradley in the trenches. I remember you saying, it was.
They did.
You could watch it. It was a TV game, and I watched it too, and we agreed on that. I'm just really excited to see how this shapes out next week.
Yes, for sure. And it's hard to beat teams twice in a year. And again, this Bradley team, Declan O'Neill, Terrace Dudley, Reed Davis, Richard Truss, the freshman running back, they have got some people on that squad. They've got some guys. And it's going to be interesting. I mean, obviously, 45-13, you're going to kind of think it's going to be Davidson, but you never know, especially in a matchup of Hilliard people. It's pretty, Hilliard teams, it's pretty crazy. And it'll be fun. And you know what? That community is going to be fired up for that one.
Yeah, and it's going to be, and it's just, pretty amazing when he says that he rarely, if ever, played a freshman. And now, as he put it, I've got 6 of them running around out there.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, and that's going to be a fun matchup. Those two coaches, and you know what? Those two coaches will be talking all week heading into this. But
he even said what we talked about earlier. This win tonight, regardless of what happens next Friday, this win tonight is going to carry this team in the offseason. And we talked about that earlier.
It's going to be fun. I'm already excited for these matchups next week. We're going to go ahead and go to a quick break. We're efforting Coach Jeff Lomonico from Pickerington Central. So we will talk to him coming up next. It's high school football overtime. Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime on the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night, and you can't stand your CPAP machine. The good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine, and Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your significant other will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and stops your snoring. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. Yeah, Marysville. If you're snoring and waking up all of Marysville or wherever you live and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. And as the end of the year approaches, a lot of people have exceeded medical deductibles, which means less out of pocket for you. Don't delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also check him out online, sleepbettercolumbus.com, and now sleepbettermarysville.com.
Bobcat Enterprises is your family-owned partner for landscaping and construction projects. Bobcat Enterprises sells and services a full line of Bobcat equipment, including compact track loaders, excavators, tractors, and more. Plus, Bobcat rents compact equipment and attachments. With Bobcat, you can rent the machine and own the results. Keep your business local. Stop by Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville, and find current specials and our full line of products by visiting bobcatent.com today.
Get out there and have some fun in a new Toyota with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Like the best-selling RAV4. Now through November 4th, get 4.99 APR financing on a new gas-powered 2024 RAV4. Or lease a RAV4 LE for $339 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details. Or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Hello, I am a serious announcer hired to deliver a serious announcement. Get an Apex Pros winter tune-up for your furnace right now for only $29. Notice we are simply giving you the facts. Just $29 to make sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming Ohio winter. We know how you enjoy our usual fun and funny commercials. Hello? Beg pardon? Well, I see no reason to bring my mother into this. Good day to you, sir. Where was I? Oh, yes. A $29 tune-up will make sure your furnace runs safely and warmly all winter. That's serious. I'm serious. That's why we're not doing the usual that you've come to expect from Apex Pros. None of this or this nonsense. $29 for a furnace tune-up from Apex Pros. The pros who knows? Knows? Is that really how you say it? The pros who...
Apex Pros, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, talks about what makes First Bank of Central Ohio different.
I would say it starts by caring. It starts by doing what you say you're going to do and following through on it. When you're talking about local, you're talking about relationships and people that matter to you. I don't care if that's personally or professionally.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Football is all about scoring big, and so is Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. With 4 dealerships and a collision center, you're sure to find the perfect vehicle. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Our Carvenience service picks up your car, gives you a rental, and returns it without you lifting a finger. Score big today. Experience the difference and visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
This show gets you so close to high school football, you can smell the sticky shoulder pads. It's Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime on The Fan.
Welcome back in. Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime. Ryan Baker, he is the guru. Lee Cochran, Jacob on the other side of the glass running things for us. I just saw this. This is kind of cool, Lee. Over in Division I, Region 4 tonight, Lakota East beats West Claremont 42-21. Former NFL quarterback John Kitna's first ever playoff victory as a head coach at Lakota East. So, pretty cool there. Former NFLers leading teams here in Central Ohio with Mark Norrie tonight from Olentangy Berlin, and then John Kitna, his first playoff win. So congratulations to him in Lakota East. Also, congratulations to Pickerington Central. They won their 8th straight game tonight. They hammer Watkins Memorial 69-13. They're moving on to round 2 of their playoffs. Their head coach, Jeff Lomonico, joins us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. And, Coach, you fall behind tonight early. They go 80 yards on a sweep to their star wide receiver, Jaden Ricketts, and then it's all your team after that. What did you say to your team after that first score from Watkins Memorial?
I was not very happy. It was, it was just an alignment deal. They didn't get aligned right, and it was part of the tendencies that we had against them. But we made, didn't dwell on it and made sure we fixed it and just played the next play. That's what you have to do.
Well, after you scored the next 62 points in the first half, were you a little bit nicer at halftime?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Now, Coach, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. As Ryan said, you've won 8 in a row now. You had the 1-2 start, 8 in a row. What's been the difference in the winning streak?
Well, I think after I hated that we lost those games, but I think we had to. If we didn't lose those games, I don't know if we would have made those adjustments that we needed to correct ourselves. As coaches, and we simplified some stuff and had to put players in the right position, hold players accountable. And the guys have been great. The players have been great. They didn't miss a beat. They bought in. They didn't sulk or anything like that. And and they've been awesome. The players have. They're all in. And that's what's great about it. But I just don't know if we didn't go 1-2. I don't know if we would have made the adjustments we've made just to make it correct. Because if we would have maybe won those close games, we might have not even looked back and really did that, make it adjustments that we've made in order to get better and put our guys in better positions and become better. And also as coaches, I had to check myself, and our coaches always do that. And that's what I'm just happy with the staff and the players and, how everything's been going since then.
Coach, kind of going hand in hand with that, and Lee and I have talked about this a couple times. You guys get off to that 1-2 start, and we didn't talk about Pickerington Central much after that. And a lot of people that cover high school football and on the Twitter and all of that, they didn't talk about Pickerington Central football. Did you guys kind of use that as a motivation for your guys? Like, hey, we're 1-2. Everybody's counted us out.
Well, I told them that. But, and I know you guys have. I know most of the we haven't had one guy. Honestly, we didn't have one guy, really news guy at our school doing interviews or anything like that,
since we lost. And, and we don't care. But I did tell the boys, everybody wrote us off. So let's just keep doing what we're doing and, take it a day at a time. And that's what we have to do. It's high school kids. So it's not, we take everything a day at a time. Tomorrow they'll have off, but Sunday, we're going to try to have a good Sunday. And we'll meet and we'll feed them and then we'll talk and then we'll have a good Monday. And, and that's what this team's been doing. And they've been doing a great job. They've been accountable. They've been showing up. They've been listening, doing good film study. And I know most people wrote us off. And I know, it is what it is. But it's people writing us off that really don't know football. And that's fine.
Well, Coach, you talked about that 1-2 start and kind of how, it helped propel the team. You got you re-energized, refocused. Next week, obviously, you're going to be playing one of those teams that gave you one of those 2 losses in Pickerington North. Wow. That just sounds like fun to me. I don't know if it's fun for you guys, but it sounds like a lot of fun for me.
Well, it's great for high school football. And that's what I think, with all, just in my opinion, with all the stuff coming from high school and all the selfishness from college football and all that stuff, this would just be a great high school football game. And I wish people would just respect that part. And I think people get away from that because of, I think there's a trickle-down effect with the selfishness and, with parents and everything else. And I think, next week it's going to be tough. They got great athletes and, they beat us the first time and, it's going to be a tough game. But, I'm looking forward to it. And I think the players will be looking forward to it. It's a chance to play another, it's just a chance to play another week. And we'll just we'll take it day by day and see what happens.
That game's more than 2 months ago. Where would you say your team's improved the most in that span since that game?
Well, honestly, it's really, we've done a good job everywhere. Just improving special teams wise, we've improved defensively. With alignment and understanding film and putting people in the right places. And I think it's hard to get everybody in the right spot when you really haven't faced, amazing competition or anything else like that. So sometimes you need to get exposed in order to see if you have the killers in the right spot. And I think we got, and we're not 100%, of course, but we've got players, we've moved some players around and, and got some players that weren't playing that actually showed and played. And as you hold everybody accountable, and that's the big thing, everybody understands they have to do it all the time. And there's nobody, it doesn't matter if you have offers, it doesn't matter anything. We sat people that had offers, we pulled people out of games and benched them, and, and everybody's playing harder and practicing harder and paying attention. So I think the coaching staff, our offensive staff, has been carrying us all year. They've done a great job. And I think we're getting better defensively, and, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Coach, last one for you here, and we talked about it a little bit. Obviously, next week, Pickerington Central, Pickerington North. You've been a part of a lot of these games. You've been a part of them in the regular season, and you've been a part of them in the postseason. I know it's always a huge atmosphere there in Pickerington for these. Just how much does it get ramped up in the community for a playoff game between you two?
Oh, it'll be crazy. It'll be awesome. But that's why when I say it's it's great for high school football. That's what it should be. And it'll be, the community will be going crazy. The student sections will be packed and yelling back and forth at each other, and the players will be ready to go. And it's going to be a heck of a game. And but it's, hopefully the outcome's a little different.
Well, Coach, regardless, it's going to be fun, I'm sure, and we will be paying attention next week. Coach, congratulations here on the big win tonight, moving on to round 2 in the playoffs, and good luck next week in that Battle of Pickerington.
Hey, thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
He's the head coach of Pickerington Central, Jeff Lomonico, joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. It's so funny, Lee, and we mentioned it a couple times on the show. We haven't talked about Pickerington Central. We haven't talked about Pickerington Central. Mm-mm. We haven't talked about Pickerington Central. And then you look up, And they're the number 2 seed in the playoffs.
And that's our post-show meeting. We're always like, we never talk about Pickerington Central. You know, the one thing that he said that really caught me? He said that 1 and 2 start, it allowed us to make some changes we need to.
We may not be here if it wasn't for that.
Do you remember who else told us that? Jay Sherrod. Jay Sherrod, a few years ago, they had won. They started out strong and they lost. I was trying to think, and it might have been their state championship year in 2019. They lost to Groveport in week 4. And we talked to him a couple games after that. And he said, you know, you don't want to change things when you're winning. But when we lost, we made the changes we knew we had to make if we were going to be state champions. If we had, well, at the time, he said if we were going to contend for a state championship. That's just what Coach Lomonico just said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's pretty interesting. I found that interesting.
You know what else he said there too? I had to make some changes, and I heard that.
Yeah.
They talked about there were some changes that needed to be made within the coaching staff, as far as, you know, who was doing what, who was saying what, and all of that. It's obviously worked for them because they're sitting here now at 9-2 in round 2 of the postseason, looking to avenge a loss to their rival, Pickerington North. You know, Central last was in a regional final in 2021. Doesn't that seem strange? Seems weird.
They state runner-up in 2020, one state in 19, one state in 17, but they haven't been to a regional final in, 3 seasons.
Pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back, we've got to take a break here at the top of the hour. When we come back,
we're staying on past 11?
Yeah, we're going to go to 11:30 tonight for everyone for our final show.
Go.
When we come back, we'll run through some of the scores, and then we will get to head coach Ryan Wiggins of St. Francis DeSales. They got a big win tonight. All of that coming up next. It's Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Dormar, your climate hero.
Dort, what's that guy yelling about in my noisemaker?
Dormar, your climate hero.
Your climate hero, you fossil?
What's a climate hero?
That's Dormar, our same-day heating and AC company we've used for 60 years.
Who?
Dormar, your climate hero.
Come on, Dad, you laugh every time you hear their tidy-whitey commercials.
Yep, those are funnier.
Dormar, your climate hero.
Combat falling interest rates now. Lock in a 7-month certificate from Kemba Financial Credit Union and earn up to 4.5% annual percentage yield. Visit Kemba.org for details. Hurry! This exceptional rate offer expires December 31st, 2024. APY equals annual percentage yield. Restrictions apply. $500 minimum deposit required to open and earn stated APY and $250,000 maximum deposit. Advantage status required. Federally insured by NCUA.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Visit shelterinsurance.com to find an agent to help you pick a policy that's right for you. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Scotty Vegas here, and November is Veterans Month, a time to celebrate and honor the heroes who have served our country. This November, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is showing their appreciation for active duty veterans and spouses by offering 15% off your entire Awaken 180 program. Free support for life included. It's a thank you for the sacrifices you've made protecting our freedoms and making this country what it is. This is a special. Awaken 180 has never offered a discount, ever. If this incentive can help turn your focus on you, your health, your goals, and your happiness, I say go for it. Do what I did and choose a solution for weight loss. So if you're active duty, a veteran, or a spouse of one, this month is about you. Celebrate Veterans Month with 15% off your Awaken 180 program. And as with all clients, receive free support for life after reaching your goals. Do what I did, and over 23,000 others have done. Take control at awaken180weightloss.com.
How big of a Jackets fan are you? Like, scary big? Prove it. Show us you're the biggest CBJ fan and you could win tickets to the Stadium Series at the Horseshoe. Head to 971thefan.com now through November 3rd at 11:59 p.m. to enter. Do it.
At Byers Auto, we've been football fans since 1897, back when tailgates had actual tails. Our legacy of supporting our local team is as strong as our commitment to providing exceptional vehicles. While we're known for our new cars, we also offer a variety of pre-owned vehicles that meet our rigorous standards. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit us in person or shop online at buyersauto.com. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now in the meat department, you can save big on bone-in pork back ribs. They're on sale for just $3.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A nice night for high school football, but take that extra layer. Temperatures holding in the mid to upper 50s with fair skies. We'll see diminishing winds and clear skies in through the evening, all the way down to the mid 30s by Saturday morning. But after a cool start, a really nice finish. High temperatures back in the low 60s with plenty of sun by Saturday afternoon. With your 10 TV weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan. From Picktown to Marysville and everything in between, this is Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime on The Fan.
Last half hour of the season for Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime. I'm Ryan Baker. He is the guru, Lee Cochran. Heck of a night in Central Ohio, round number 1 of the playoffs. We'll go through some of the scores here coming up in just moments. First, let's head out on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline and talk to our friend. He's the head coach of St. Francis DeSales, Ryan Wiggins. His Stallions with a big 48-28 win over New Albany tonight in Division II, Region 7. And, Coach, what a performance from your team tonight, bouncing back from a tough loss to your rival Watterson in week number 10. How proud were you of the way your guys answered the bell tonight?
I was very proud. I thought New Albany was going to be a really tough matchup, and they were. You know, the way they run the wing tee, the way they played in the second half of the season, they got, there's a lot of bodies, a lot of numbers, advantages there. And so, but if you look at the game, we came out, we scored, we were able to have good balance. We popped a couple big runs. We threw 2 touchdown passes. We had a pick 6. And so we had a great first half. I thought we had a great rhythm going. And, the wing tee offense, obviously, they like to kind of keep it tight or get a lead and hang on. And we kind of had them playing catch up. So our guys did a great job. They came out, excited. It's as we talked about, it's the playoffs. Somebody's going home tonight. And, so all the things that happened during the season, we can learn from them, but it really doesn't matter. Everybody's 0-0. Was real happy to get a win.
Coach, obviously you want to get out to that quick start, but yeah, you did bring up the fact that nobody runs that wing tee. Is it more important to get that lead against them, so you're not getting behind and watching them grind and grind and grind? That puts more pressure on your offense?
No question. And they won the toss and deferred, and I told our offensive coaches, like, we got to do something here, because they are going to get the football, and they're just hard to stop. They always go forward, they go fast, they don't make mistakes. It's a tough high school football offense, and they're really good at it. So we were able to, as I said, put together a really nice first drive, and we had balance, we had rhythm, and it was really good, and we were able to sustain that throughout the game.
Well, and you bring up, it seems like every time we talk with you, we bring up Jonathan Brown. And 180 yards, 3 touchdowns tonight. You mentioned that he busted a couple big ones, 67 yards, 59 yards. He's over 1,000 yards for the season. It's pretty nice to have a running back like that. And, I'll say it before you do, and quite a impressive offensive line as well.
Yeah, no question. I think our line's really gelled and come together throughout the season. But you're right about Jonathan. One thing he can do is he can hit that home run. You get some hats on hats, and he's gone. And that's different from getting tackled for a 7 or 8 yard gain and having to continue to earn it. He's able to bust one and puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And then being able to do that opens up some other things. And as I said, we had really good balance tonight. I think that helped us quite a bit.
Well, you mentioned a balance, and R.J. Day, from what we've heard, set the school record for passing yards, career passing yards. I mean, he's only a sophomore. You look at that and you say, well, DeSales is obviously passing more now than they have, traditionally, just run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. But I look at it and say that you've adapted to the players. Wouldn't you say that you've opened it up to more passing?
Well, I think I would say you have to. Coaching is really good. The game's good. You have to be able to take what they give you. You're not just always going to impose your will on people. You've got to be able to have some balance and take some shots here and there. And I think the running game opens that all up, and run the ball well enough where you get soft corners or you get safeties involved in the run game, and that just kind of opens everything up. So, I think the best offense is the one that can take what the defense is giving them.
Coach, last one for you. You make a little road trip up north next week. You take on Ashland. They're 11-0 on the season now. Do you know anything about the Arrows? And you've made a lot of long road trips in the postseason. How do you get the team ready for it?
Well, just excited to play another week. I don't know anything about Ashland other than they have from what I understand, a 4-star quarterback. They've scored a lot of points. They're 11-0, so they've won a ton of football games. We're going to try to get ready like we always do. We'll get excited about a road trip. It won't be new for us to take a road trip. It's somewhere we haven't been. There's not many of those out there. But get excited to go play and go try to earn another week. We'll, try to be physical, try to do what we do, try to learn about these guys. It's fun to work another week.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the big playoff win tonight and advancing. Thank you for always being willing to join us. I know you'd be on every week if we had time for you, and we appreciate that, Coach, and we'll be watching you and the Stallions from afar.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
He's the head coach of St. Francis DeSales, Ryan Wiggins, joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. I thought that game tonight was going to be a really good one. I thought it was going to be close, and DeSales just took it to New Albany. New Albany's a team that's been getting better throughout the year here, and they were no match tonight, and that is a definite testament, as you mentioned, the guys up front, Jonathan Brown, and that offense of DeSales. Ryan Wiggins revamped that offense kind of himself this year. He's always been the defensive guy, a defensive coordinator. He kind of took the reins of the offense this year, and it seems to have worked at least tonight.
Well, yeah, it's worked most of the season.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about that. But it does say a lot, though. When you're a program, like you say, it's a statement unto itself that a sophomore quarterback's not even done with a season. He's a career passing leader. That tells you that they've made some changes. That they needed to, and he said it. He goes, we wanted to have more of a balanced offense, but he also said it's the running game that they're trying to open the passing game with. So, and I think that's more along what's happening now. I mean, it was always pass the ball to open up the running game a little bit, but now, hey.
Yeah, and a big win, bounce-back effort from the Stallions tonight. Let's go ahead and talk about the regions here involving Central Ohio teams, give you some of those scores. Division I, Region 2, Central Crossing season comes to an end. They lose to Fairmont 42-7. Fairmont will play Huber Heights Wayne, who beat Middletown tonight. Hilliard Bradley, the 13 seed, gets the upset 34-30. They knock off Springfield. They're going to take on Hilliard Davidson next week, who beat Marysville 52-7 tonight. Dublin Kaufman, the big upset, the 14, beating the number 3. They beat Westland 49-2, 7 touchdowns for Amari Valerio Hudson. Dublin Kaufman will play Lebanon next week, who beat Clayton Northmont 42-21. Lebanon, their first playoff win since 2002, so congratulations to them in that. Dublin Jerome, their season comes to an end. They lose to Springboro 59-13. Springboro takes on Centerville next week, who beat Beaver Creek tonight. Lee, I didn't even realize this till just now. Region 3, Division I, Region 3, all chalk. The top 8 seeds all won tonight, and we'll play each other next week. Olentangy Liberty, 41-7. They're the 1 seed. They beat Lancaster. They will play Groveport next week, who got 4 touchdowns from Rashad King and beat Delaware 48-7. The 4 seed, Olentangy Orange, 21-17 winners over Olentangy. That sets up a rematch next week against the 5 seed Upper Arlington, 27-15. They knock off Newark this evening. Olentangy Orange and Arlington played in week number 8.
28-20.
And 28-20 was the final score. Orange beat Upper Arlington that night. The 3 seed Gahanna, 38-10. They beat Reynoldsburg tonight. Next week, they will take on Olentangy Berlin. That was our game of the week over on ESPN Columbus. They beat Grove City 28-7. Pickerington Central, we talked to their head coach, Jeff Lomonico, 69-13. They hammer Watkins Memorial. That sets up a battle of Pickerington next week. The 7 seed North beats Westerville North 45-23. 4 touchdown passes from Jaron Mock in this one for the Panthers. In Division 2, Region 7, the 1 seed's Big Walnut. They're moving on 42-0. They beat Logan this evening. Next week, they'll play Massillon Perry. Perry beat Northland tonight by a score of 34-6. We just talked about Ashland. They beat St. Charles 42-0. That's who DeSales will play next week, 48-28. They beat New Albany. The number 6 seed, Canal Winchester, moving on. They top Westerville South 17-7. For their trouble, they get the defending state champs in Division 2, Massillon, Washington, 41-6. They beat Licking Heights tonight. The 15 seed, we get a big-time upset in Region 7, too. Worthington Kilbourne, 29-26. They hand Walnut Ridge their first loss of the season. What a season for Walnut Ridge, but what a win for Worthington Kilbourne. Kilbourne will head to Asheville next week to take on Taze Valley. The 7 seed Vikings beat Briggs 31-14 tonight. In Division 3, Region 11, Watterson improves to 11-0, 44-7. They beat Warren tonight. Licking Valley 48-0 over Indian Creek. What a game this will be, Lee, next week. This might be my favorite game of the week in round 2. Licking Valley takes on Bloom Carroll. Bloom Carroll 44-43 winners over Hartley. I can only imagine the contingent of people that are heading from Amanda next week out to Licking Valley in that atmosphere. That is going to be a great high school football game and atmosphere.
Oh, I would agree. I wonder if it's the 50-50 is going to match that Marion Local.
Marion Local, by the way, wins their 59th straight game tonight. I think 62-0, something like that is big.
I'm surprised they played because didn't 2 teams pass and say, nah, we're not
3
playing?
Teams
3
passed.
did?
The 16, the 17, the 18 all said no. So Fort Recovery stepped up to the plate.
They said, we'll take a shot. Why not?
Granville season comes to an end. Dover hammers them 33-0. Buckeye Valley, they fall to Steubenville 47-7. And Lyndon McKinley ends the year at 7-4. They lose to Athens 21-8. 8, the final in that one. A couple local teams in Region 12 of Division 3. Miami Trace loses to St. Mary's 28-24. London is 11-0. They beat Hamilton Ross 39-14. Bellefontain's season comes to an end. Dayton Chaminade Julian beats them 44-28. That'll be a fun game next week between the Eagles and London in that region there. We'll pick it up when we come back. We will talk about Division 4, Division 5, Division 6, and Division 7, and we will get the Gurus' final thoughts on this 2024 high school football season so far. It's Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime on The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night, and you can't stand your CPAP machine. The good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine, and Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your significant other will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and stops your snoring. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. Yeah, Marysville. If you're snoring and waking up all of Marysville or wherever you live and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. And as the end of the year approaches, a lot of people have exceeded medical deductibles, which means less out of pocket for you. Don't delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also check him out online, sleepbettercolumbus.com, and now sleepbettermarysville.com.
Warehouse workers in Columbus. Uline is expanding in the Columbus area, and they're looking for exceptional people to get the building up and running. The company's growth creates new opportunities and job stability employees can count on. Warehouse workers earn pay starting from $25 an hour, plus substantial bonuses and great benefits. Sign up for Uline's Talent Network for email updates about warehouse opportunities. Learn more at uline.jobs/Ohio. That's uline.jobs/Ohio.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave. But a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One thing we keep hearing here in town, Wilson, is that the cost of Pella windows actually pleasantly surprises most people.
Pleasantly surprised?
You get the Pella next level quality and looks, but we also have 5 different lines to fit most budgets.
Our customers are almost always surprised, but it's never pleasant. Is there such thing as like angrily surprised?
Price is a little high?
Oh no, they're a lot high.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go.
The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan. Friday nights mean high school football in Ohio. This is Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime on The Fan.
And Friday nights mean high school football for another month. State championships happen in December 5th, 6th, and 7th up at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. Unfortunately, this is our last night of high school football here, but fun playoffs for another month here, so make sure you get out and check out a game. I'm Ryan Baker. He is the guru, Lee Cochran. Glad to have you for one final segment this season on Byers Dublin Subaru's high school football overtime. Let's get back into the area scores in Division 4, Region 15. St. Clairsville knocks off Marion Franklin 40-6 tonight. St. Clairsville will play Reedy next week. How about this? Reedy was trailing all game today, Lee, or all night tonight. Cross Williams hits a 25-yard field goal with 30 seconds left, and they knock off Jonathan Alder 18-17. The Silver Knights survive to play another week. East Liverpool, the 12 seed, knocks off East, the 5 seed, 41-40. East wraps up the year at 8-3. Logan Elm is moving on. They beat Philo tonight, 41-21. Heath's season comes to a close. Indian Valley beats them 40-15. And Fairfield Union's season is over as well. They fall to Waverly 28-21. In Division 5, Region 18, a couple of local teams, the Johnstown area teams. Northridge gets shut out by Edison 42-0, and Triway beats the Johnnies 41-20. In Division 5, Region 19, that's where most of the area teams are. Worthington Christian falls to Ironton tonight, 68-14. Amanda Clear Creek loses to Portsmouth, 35-16. Harvest Prep is moving on, 40-6. They beat Dawson Bryan. They'll take on Columbus Academy next week, who beat Piketon 24-7. An upset in that region, by the way. Wheelersburg, the 14, beats Barnesville 24-7. And then Afrocentric, their season comes to a close. They lose to West Muskingum 34-26. In Division 6, Region 23, the 1 seed is Grandview. They are moving on. They beat Elgin tonight by a score of 41-6. Grove City Christian ends the year 8-3. They lose to Newcomerstown 23-14 this evening. In Region 24, Madison Plains falls to Rock Hill 30-21. What a season, though, for Madison Plains, making it into the postseason for the first time. And then Division 6, Region 27, Fisher Catholic loses to Trimble 28-7. Fairfield Christian falls to Conotton Valley 46-7. Again, Division 1 tonight, Region 2, Dublin Kaufman, Hilliard Bradley, they both pull big upsets, and then we get chalk in Division 1, Region 3. I'm kind of sad that I'm about to say this, Lee, but I got to get the Guru's final thoughts on what we've seen so far in the 2024 season.
Well, remember, the season began with one of the biggest upsets we've probably been around. Pickerington Central losing to Harvest Prep. We heard what that meant to that Pickerington Central program. Regular season ends with Reedy beating Columbus Academy for the second straight year, preventing Columbus Academy from perfect regular season. And in between, we had a great game between Licking Valley and Granville at Licking Valley. Couple teams is still undefeated. That Watterson, probably the top contender for state title. We've not talked much about Grandview either. They went to 10-0 today. Grove City Christian, best season since 2009. From tonight, you look at the teams that pulled the upset wins. Bradley, a 13 seed, Kaufman, a 14 seed, Kilburn, a 15 seed. And I've been against the expanded playoffs, and it shows me maybe I don't know what I shouldn't know. The season's in for a couple teams, and disappointment. Westland, obviously, they had a great run. They can build on this. Newark can too. Next week's going to be just an amazing week. You got Pickerington North, Pickerington Central, Davidson, Bradley, like you said, UA and Orange, Gahanna, Berlin. Canal Winchester gets to go back up to Massillon. They did that 2 years ago, didn't have much success. And I think that Harvest Prep Academy game could be pretty interesting. But, normally at this point I say I can't wait for next season or next week. I'm going to say I can't wait for next season. This has been a wonderful season. This has been a blast.
So fast.
It's gone, and to you, I don't get to say it enough, but thank you for steering this ship all season and for the last 11 seasons. Thank you very much for what you do.
Kind of crazy. 11th year together, you and I. 3rd year here on The Fan.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. It's pretty fun. It's going to be fun to see here in the postseason. Obviously, Division I, Region 3, I think anyone could win. Any one of those 8 teams could probably
We've
win.
said that since day one.
That Groveport Liberty game has a chance to be a really great game next week, too, and that's a 1 versus 8. But Watterson, man, they look so dominant in Division 3. And Harvest Prep, they upped their schedule so much this year. Can they get by Ironton? They got a tough one next week against Academy, but can they get by Ironton in that Region 19? That'll be all of it right there. I've got to say a big thanks to Byers Dublin Subaru for jumping aboard this year, high school football overtime, and being the sponsor this year. And it's been awesome to have them on board. And hopefully we can get them back. We couldn't do it without our sponsors, obviously.
We need to work in a car next year.
Yeah,
for
we need to go up there and see those guys. Huh? A big thanks to our whole high school football team here on The Fan this year. Neil Sika, Paul Barnes, Jeff Tito Thidoff, Devere Posey, Dane Sanzenbacher doing a great job calling the games all year. Tyler Oliver and Cam Taylor for what they did, doing the stats and being the spotters out at those games. And, of course, Rhyme Time on the other side. He's been here every week. I think that's the first time we've had the same producer all year, for the whole entire year. So
probably since we've started for 11 seasons.
Yeah, that could be. So thank you to him for that. Don't forget the Buckeyes tomorrow. Big one, Penn State at noon right here on The Fan. Our coverage gets underway bright and early at 6:30 in the morning. Speaking of thanks for Rhyme Time, he's going to be back for that. So he's going to be back here bright and early in the morning. Congratulations to all the teams that are moving on in the postseason, and a big thanks to the coaches tonight that joined us, Mike LoParo of Hilliard Bradley, Jeff Lomonico of Pickerington Central, and Ryan Wiggins of St. Francis DeSales. Game night is coming up next. Thanks to all of you as well for listening to high school football overtime all season long on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Combat falling interest rates now. Lock in a 7-month certificate from Kemba Financial Credit Union and earn up to 4.5% annual percentage yield. Visit Kemba.org for details. Hurry! This exceptional rate offer expires December 31st, 2024. APY equals annual percentage yield. Restrictions apply. $500 minimum deposit required to open and earn stated APY, and $250,000 maximum deposit. Advantage status required. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey Columbus, Caden Curry here, Ohio State student-athlete for Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. I've had to be versatile my whole football career. Of course, I'm a defensive end, but I've also played special teams and even played fullback. Whether I'm blocking or tackling, I've got to be ready for any job out there, which is why I love the versatility in Kubota's BXB and L Series tractors. There's no task too big or small with Kubota tractors from Green & Sons. Visit greenandsons.com today, or stop by their stores in Mount Sterling and in Raymond, north of Marysville, and get yourself a Kubota tractor that works as hard as I do.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Looking for a trusted heating and cooling company? James Laurinaitis here for Custom Air. When I come home from a football game, I know that I'm walking into comfort. That's because Custom Air is on my team. When Custom Air does my semi-annual maintenance checkup, I trust them to spot any issues early on, so it'll save me money down the road. Don't let your HVAC call for a timeout this season. Tackle fall and winter like a pro. Go to customairco.com and schedule your maintenance today. Custom solutions, custom comfort. Custom Air.
This report is sponsored by AAA Car Care Plus. Tires worn down from all the summer driving? Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus between August 1st and August 31st and save up to $180 on select sets of 4 Veretta Stein tires. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. See store for details.
The blood battle is back, and the Buckeyes are the defending 2-time champions. Donate blood at a Varsity Blood Drive by November 27th to help Ohio State beat Michigan again. Sign up at varsity.org/blood battle. Buckeyes bleed scarlet and gray.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. Do your banging in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus or download ESPN Bet on your phone. You never know when the